मैं तो आज तक इतने प्रोटेस्ट प्रोग्राम में शामिल रही हूँ, ये पहली बार हुआ कि मैंने देखा कि एबीवीपी की महिला स्टूडेंट आके मुझे मारने लगती है, मेरे बाल खींचने लगती है। ये मेरे साथ पहले कभी नहीं हुआ। जब आपके पास कुछ कहने को नहीं होता है तब आपका हाथ चलता है।
साथियों, पीछे और कोई भी है जिसे कंप्लेंट कराना है वो प्लीज आगे आ जाए, हम सब एक साथ जाकर।
So we will go and insist that the FIR should be registered. Okay.
MLCs will have to.
MLC.
There are 2 people already there in the hospital.
See, we will report about them.
जो हम इस प्रोटेस्ट में शामिल हुए थे, इसके समर्थन में DUTA की प्रेसिडेंट नंदिता नारायण वो भी हमारे साथ आ रही हैं और हम उनका इंतजार करेंगे और हम उनके साथ अंदर थाने में जाएंगे और इन गुंडों के खिलाफ हम FIR और कानूनी लड़ाई में भी आगे लड़ेंगे।
The SFIO is organizing a strike. They will detain us within 2 or 3 minutes. This has been 3.5 hours. They have been watching what the ABP goons are doing.
पुलिस उनको हर कदम पे सपोर्ट कर रही है, उनको खुली छूट दे रही है। वहाँ पे आदमी खड़े होके नाच रहे हैं, जेस्चर्स कर रहे हैं, उंगलियां दिखा रहे हैं औरतों को, जीप दिखा रहे हैं, लोग पत्थर फेंक रहे हैं, अंडे फेंक रहे हैं, लोगों के सर पे बॉटल फोड़ रहे हैं और ये पुलिस कोई भी एक्शन लेने के बजाय एकदम क्लियरली आकर के जो प्रोटेस्टिंग स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो पीसफुली प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, उनको पीछे ढकेल रही है।
We are teachers of Delhi University. Like, I'm an academic council member. My name is Sachin. This is my colleague Papuram Meena. Like, one of our colleagues has been attacked severely, and he is right now in Bada Hindu Rao Hospital. He has been administered painkillers and other medication, and he was actually, pulled by ABVP goons with his shawl, and he was almost strangulated. And this is the kind of violence that has been going unabated on campus for the last 3-4 years.
ये लोग डर का माहौल पैदा कर देना चाहते हैं और एकेडमिक माहौल को पूरी तरीके से डिस्ट्रॉय कर देना चाहते हैं। ये केवल दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का सवाल नहीं है, पूरे इंडिया के जितने भी कैंपस हैं, कॉलेजेस हैं, उनके अंदर इसी तरीके का माहौल एबीवीपी पैदा कर देना चाहती है।
I'll tell you one thing कि क्या हुआ, हम लोग पीछे खड़े थे रामजस की तरफ, we were looking at the Ramjas and giving slogan peacefully. So we thought there are ABVP goons are there inside and 100 or 150 people. But फिर हम लोग क्या देखते हैं कि पीछे से एक मॉब आता है और वो पीछे से मारना शुरू कर देता है। हम लोग वहाँ पे खड़े थे, उसके बाद से उन्होंने 3 लोग जो मेरे साथ थे, मुझे भी पिटाई मिली है। प्रशांतो जो कि इंग्लिश पढ़ाते हैं रामजस में, और एक दोस्त है दिल्ली स्कूल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स में समाजशास्त्र के बुरहान, और एक और अविनाश गोगोई। 3 लोगों को उन्होंने एबीवीपी के गुंडों ने जब ब्रूटली उनको मारा, पुलिस वहाँ पर खड़ी खड़ी तमाशबीन बनी हुई थी। स्कूटर ठीक करने वाले मैकेनिक टूल्स फेंक के मारे यहाँ पर कौन?
आई एम फ्रॉम किरोड़ीमल कॉलेज। आई वाज वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड बाय व्हाट हैपेंड एट रामजस yesterday, which is why I joined the protest today. They scratched me, they beat me up, and they're pushing, they don't listen, and we are taking out a march. They should respect the fact that this is a democracy and we function like that, and this is not ABVP's campus to do whatever they want to do with students.
रामजस में सेमिनार नहीं होने दिया, स्टोन पेल्टिंग किया, स्टूडेंट और टीचर को बिल्कुल अंदर बंद कर दिया कॉलेज में, और उन्होंने वो सेमिनार को डिस्टर्ब किया। आज ये लेफ्ट डेमोक्रेटिक सेक्शन, चाहे स्टूडेंट हो या टीचर, उसका प्रोटेस्ट इसलिए है क्योंकि हम समझते हैं कि यूनिवर्सिटी स्पेसेस में ये जगह रहनी चाहिए, बोलने की आज़ादी रहनी चाहिए, विचारों को रखने की आज़ादी होनी चाहिए, और इस तरीके से हम एबीवीपी या किसी भी एक संगठन को ये तय करने नहीं देंगे कि यूनिवर्सिटी में किन चीज़ों पे चर्चा होगी या यहाँ पे कौन आएगा कौन नहीं आएगा।
Actually, I think I'm the odd person here because I am not, I have always been interested in journalism, but I am not a journalist with any newspaper. I am an academic, and I do a lot of work around television, around the print media. I look at representation and issues. Now, taking from, such senior journalists who are sitting here, I basically would like to, I'm basically going to talk about television news because in the beginning, Mr. Swami said that, television seems to give us many perspectives. Now, as an academic and as a person who studies television, I find that the television is a far more problematic medium than your print media, because print allows you to debate things, you allow for a multiplicity of articles. But that is not so with television, because we are dealing with a media which deals with visuals. And visuals tend to stay in people's minds. So a lot of my work, especially my recent work, has been around looking at terror attacks. So I'll read a little bit and I'll keep it short. Post 9/11, this has become a principal marker of terror and insecurity today. Post 9/11, we have become aware of the entanglements of environment, economics, and economic insecurities. Central to this, terrorism has acquired an extensivity and a mobility that is accelerated primarily by the mass media. It is on and through television that terror infuses and catalysts speculative discourses and constructs the enemy. And yet television, as it delivers us from the specter of endless terror and violence from places far and near, also rescues us from the brink of chaos. What is essentially, I'm quoting a person called Ben Logan, the basic issue which I'm talking about is that when you work in any kind of attacks and you're dealing with any kind of terror situation, you find that the television media makes a spectacle of it. And you find that there is any event, even if you look at any war, like media is built into the design of any political event, war or terror attack. And images, both professional and amateur, flood the television and the internet screens. What happens when you have any attack in India, anywhere in the world? You get a lot of images. And those images are the ones which stay in your mind. For example, if we look at the Bombay attack, what is the image which stays with us? Not the fact that, the main image which comes to our mind is that of the Taj Hotel and the dome burning. That has become the signifier of the attack. So whether any kind of photographic element or any kind of television element, you will get that image. So similarly, what happens is that when it comes to any terror attack, you will find the television channels will make montages of it, which is basically a kind of a visual display with a whole lot of headlines. It is those, so what it does eventually is that it capsulizes an event for you and you feel that you have seen many such events. So the horror of it also reduces. The other thing which happens is, which has become very significant when you deal with issues with minorities, marginalized communities, you will often find the profiling of the people who are supposed to be involved or allegedly involved in these attacks. So a lot which these channels have started doing is that you find that there are these profiles which are basically taken from police records. Now, where does this journalist source the information? They basically source it from, suppose, a police record or from actual interviews of the people concerned. So often what happens is the police records become, and especially it becomes more dangerous when these police records become the basis for your reports. So a lot has, in the period between 2007 to 2009, unfortunately in India there were a number of terrorist attacks, and a group emerged which became very prominent was the Indian Mujahideen. There were these series of programs which all Indian television channels ran, in which they profiled these characters. They were supposed to be very clearly in between the age group between 20 and 30. They were Muslim, they were educated. Now these three became so if you look at entire reports, and if you look at the entire television coverage, you will find that these became the profile of the character. So therefore, and in most cases, they could not even identify the person. They would always be these reenacted sequences. So as a result, you somewhere created a situation that the enemy was unknown. The only identity he carried, he was 25 or 26 or whatever, that young age group, he was educated and he was Muslim. So that became a problem for a long period of time, that continued to be the profiling. And it's, we have had these series of attacks subsequently, and we find that some arrests have even been made now. But this profiling becomes a very important part of all our representation whenever we deal with any kind of violence, especially terrorist attacks. The second thing which happened was that when we dealt with any event, because we are dealing with a channel which needs 24 hours coverage and needs to run continuously, anything and everything could be put into it. So if you had the Bombay attack, it was a 60-hour-long siege, but television time had to be fed. So you found people doing all kinds of stories. 54 or 59 people died at CST station, but it never remained the focus of the story. The Taj Hotel continued to be the focus of the story. What was important was the fact that the hotel was very beautiful. There were very beautiful restaurants, but you continued to fill airtime because you needed to talk about all this, because there was a kind of status quo for a period of time also. So this, the medium's need to fill in 24 hours is also one of the reasons why you actually feel that maybe television journalism is faulting somewhere. I mean, I don't mean it personally, but what I mean is that it's actually the visual requirements of it which create the situation where you constantly want news and you constantly need to fill in that time. So we can actually, so that is why this whole feeling of a kind of a spectacle is very predominant with the news thing, which is not there with the print media. And that is why somewhere, as an old school of thought, I feel that somewhere when we are going so much towards television and supporting it, we are somewhere losing out the sense of argument, debate, the idea that that news has to be researched. The greatest casualty of television news is the lack of research.